Let's full screen that.
Now, as Drake came back outside with more new music, more clips of himself that were put out to flood everybody's timeline, and new hints that were alluding to the fact that he is going to be dropping more diss tracks on Kendrick Lamar soon. One of the most important things that came out of this storm of content that Drake was trying to win back people's attention with was not really about him at all, and was actually about the guy who has left him in shambles and is the reason why he is doing any of these strange things in the first place at the moment, which is, of course, Kendrick Lamar. Because after this summer where Drake has been running around and never looked more directionless in his entire career, all while Kendrick has ended up having an all-time great year for a rapper in every single sense of the word, from the respect to the acclaim to the numbers. By doing this all with just 5 songs released, he has had one of the most dominant years in recent hip-hop history, which has of course been led.
And you can see the obvious difference. It just in styles and approach. Drake has to try extremely hard to get half of what Kendrick does. And you rarely even saw Kendrick this year. And he's been everywhere. You've seen Drake everywhere. And he still has not gotten his own. Drake still has not reached his own standard. And that's crazy. He's dropped, what, 3-4 tracks already? And that stimulus, like his stimulus package isn't even working for him. So it's looking bad, man. Deepfake, yeah, he already tried the AI shit with the Tupac and Snoop Dogg. So yeah, with the AI, like L said, Drake was trying to use some type of deepfake. Yeah.
By the charge of Not Like Us. Because just with this single song, Kendrick has literally outstreamed and outcharted most full-fledged albums in the entire music world this year. And now between all the success from this record, and how quiet Kendrick has been since dropping the Not Like Us music video in July, and then how Drake has seemingly done Kendrick's job of making himself look horrible for him with every questionable thing that he has done this summer. At this point, as it seems like Kendrick's success has been solidified, people were starting to think that Kendrick Lamar's mission is done in 2024 and he will not be coming back out to give us any new music. But as rumblings about Kendrick, Drake, and the potential continuation of their beef has been coming back around, as Drake has been begging for it, the internet exploded with speculation about what the next moves from both of these rappers are going to be, and how while initially what set this conversation off was when DJ Academic said that Kendrick Lamar is coming soon. And now while Axe saying this alone is not reliable at all, considering who he tends to support and be in the know with, and as a result of this, he was actually called out for lying by people close to Kendrick, but then adding a legitimate voice and perspective to the storm that was created by Academic's comments about the next chapter of Kendrick's career. A friend of Kendrick who goes by Hidden J3 posted a few text messages between him and Lamar about the prospect of new music. And in response to the rumors that came out from DJ Academics, what this exchange between him and Kendrick said is, "But A, is the album coming out or is you just on Demon?" And in response to this, Kendrick said 2 words that spoke volumes, and these were, "We coming." And now with this, as this user who posted the message is somebody who, as we can see, is friends with Kendrick Lamar and actually is followed by him. This is the most credible confirmation we have had recently about the fact that Kendrick's new album is coming out. But when you dig deeper into the facts and look at the landscape of both the music industry this year and also just look at the purpose of what Kendrick Lamar was really trying to do when calling out Drake beyond just destroying his biggest rival, it really shouldn't be a surprise that Kendrick is preparing to give us another full-length body of work. And on top of that he hasn't done it yet, because right off the bat, as we have seen in the music world, from Drake's absolute failure of handling this beef and its aftermath, which has weakened him way more than anyone would have imagined when Kendrick just released his own set of diss tracks, to the fact that Not Like Us has become one of the most dominant hits that the music world has seen in such a long time, as it is still cracking the top 5 of the charts with
Yeah, and I feel like even if it's not like a whole project, at least like he has to hit a few more. I know he said like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Yeah, he got to hit a few more. I don't want to say like knockout shots, but he got to keep throwing some more. Cause like what we just saw with DJ Academics, they talking about some Drake in 5. They talking about round 2. He won't take his ass whooping. He won't go down. So if you know anything about just the art of war in general, man, hey, Kendrick, he has proven time and time again, especially in this beef, that he understands what's going on. So he knows what he has to do. Yeah, he knows, especially when it's hot. this would be the perfect time to drop something, especially since he released that track at the beginning of the Night Like Us music video. So hell, it could be something. He gotta have some coming.
Ease every week. It simply wouldn't make sense for Kendrick to release an album yet because based on his opponent's playbook, and the fact that because of the will of the people, they are not over what he has already given them. He would only be stepping on himself right now, and everything he thought out so thoroughly to expose Drake at this point, and now while Drake fans think it's this big gotcha moment that Kendrick is letting the music world breathe so Not Like Us can be as dominant as possible. This is just such a flawed way of thinking and shows a fundamental lack of understanding in terms of how the music industry works, because when you get a hit song like this, and especially one that is serving a greater cultural purpose each day because of what the song is actually saying and doing, why would you end its dominance before it has fully charted its course? But now as the summer is coming to a close, and it seems like Not Like Us is bound to begin to finally lose some steam, as it will now be months after the last music release we have gotten from Kendrick, the clock is now getting closer to being set off for his next major move, and while aside from the fact that we know that close collaborators to Kendrick who have worked on some of his best and most iconic projects like Terrace Martin have been in the studio working on something with him, and also that others like DJ Mustard have sent him a ton of beats over the past few months, we don't know any other possible info about the project. But even without more information, when you look at what this 2024 represents for Kendrick Lamar and what his mission with this beef was, his job of restoring hip-hop back to the place he wants it to be in is not. So when you understand that through all of Kendrick's diss tracks, he wasn't just attacking Drake this hard because of their personal differences, but also because he despises what his clickbaiting, number-driven model of artistry has contorted the culture he loves into. Kendrick destroying Drake in the manner he did was his way of...
For sure, and that's what a lot of people don't realize, especially with academics. He keeps talking about numbers and being hot and money and everything else that Kendrick and his fan base, they really don't care about at all. And you can just obviously tell that he's not learned from what he's been through, especially in this battle. Exactly, tip tip. Kendrick letting Drake bury himself with his antics, and Drake, he can't stop himself from sabotaging. Kendrick is almost like Floyd Mayweather in the sense where he's just counterpunching. He's letting Drake use his anger, his rage, and his ego against him. Yeah, and it's crazy. Oh yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, bands started playing, yeah, and football season just started too. Just started back today. So yeah, it's about to go crazy. You'll probably hear that all through well, football season, fall, winter. Yeah, it's about to get crazy.
Repositioning hip-hop culture back into a place where it can thrive in an organic way that honors the art and the greater messages that were founded on hip-hop and change lives. But now, in order to really crack the tides back and send the shockwaves that he needs to on such a great and significant level, Kendrick still has to follow this battle up with a body of work, because as the entire world will be waiting to see what he does next and how he moves after the beef, when Kendrick comes with this new body of work, and if it's anything like the rest of his catalog, just in terms of its quality, which means it will be an amazing record at that, he is going to completely reshape and reframe the public perception of hip-hop right now, because due to what he has done and where he has put the genre at, not just rap, but the music world has never cared more about lyrics and the nuances that define hip-hop at its very core when it's...
Facts. Like, I've been seeing the entire world come together for this song. I've seen Japan, South Africa, New York, Miami, you feel me? And just seeing like people from all the different types of professions, seeing philosophers, just psychologists break down the psychology of the beef, seeing English teachers breaking down the grammar and the lyrics of the beef. Is like it's just bringing so many different things together, and like seeing directors breaking down like the visuals and going just through all of history and just breaking down the culture and having these conversations. There's so many conversations being had because of this beef. And I say it all the time, but we're low key using celebrities to be the sugar that helps medicine go down. So we are using their stories to talk about issues that are happening within our community already, but they're just extremely difficult to have. Because if you didn't know, the number one fear on this planet, well, for us as human beings is public speaking. So that's the reason why meditation and prayer and just talking to God and just talking to our subconscious and our shadow is so difficult. So man, yeah, that's the reason why I respect any content creator, any artist, anybody that's willing to go on Instagram, YouTube, and post yourself and listen to the sound of your voice and just go out of your way to try to become something, to become on any type of path to excellence, man. You got nothing but my support. Shout out to y'all, man.
At its best. So now with all of this, I think it's safe to say that we are bound to get a Kendrick Lamar album very soon. And now with even more tweets from the people around Kendrick saying that they are not going to be focusing on pointing things back at Drake again and instead are going to be releasing music that is serving a different and seemingly greater purpose, I think this confirms what Kendrick is really trying to do with this album if it wasn't already clear. But now as Kendrick has this mission to complete, and despite how pathetic somebody like Drake has been, if Drake was somehow able to release another massive hit that has anywhere near the same impact that one of his #1 hits in the late 2010s did, while it seems like Drake couldn't even crack the top 20 if he tried right now, we can't fully discount his track record and underestimate him, and as Kendrick Lamar literally won this beef in a landslide by never letting up on Drake and putting the gas on him despite their clear difference in skill levels, all while Drake lost as
And I think that's one of Drake's mistakes, because he kept trying to take all the credit himself. Instead of building up a label, a solid label, and having someone to take his spot, he tried to do it all himself. Lil Wayne tried to do it all himself. Lil Wayne can claim Nicki, he can claim Drake. So Lil Wayne's legacy can still live on, even though he's still dropping. He's still being consistent. He's still Lil Wayne, still going crazy. But at the same time, hell, like, look at Jay-Z. He got Kanye, Rihanna. You gotta put people on, man. Drake, he can't grow anything. He can only take. And that's what's being exposed in this beef. Kendrick has the power right now to keep it within the black community. Go with the conspiracy against the black.
Miserably as he did, because he
Yeah.
did not properly estimate what his opponent was capable of. It doesn't seem likely that Kendrick is going to underestimate Drake here, as this just wouldn't align with his genius battle strategy. So with this, it seems like Kendrick has to release this album within the next couple of months to make sure that he completes this mission that he set himself out on, or it could have all been for nothing in terms of the greater sense of it all. So now, if I had to estimate when this record will drop, considering how thought out everything Kendrick has done during this moment in time has been, as from releasing Like That when Drake was still on tour, to 616 in LA having countless different meanings that all mirror the demise and failure of Drake, to the Not Like Us music video coming out while Drake was at Michael Rubin's white party. In line with these moments that despite Kendrick seemingly being done with head-on disses for
Not only that, it's breaking records. It's still breaking records. I'm not just talking about the music video, the streams, and just the time it's spending on the charts. Is like he has multiple songs throughout this beef still on the charts, still going crazy. You got Meet the Grams still going crazy, and Drake, as much as DJ Academics and the OVO stands, they want to claim that Drake is the #1 artist. Like Kendrick is using Drake for some type of clout. It's not working for Drake. It's not working for Drake. And they can't stand that. They're so used to bots and the playlist that they're projecting. It's almost like Donald Trump when he lost. He was claiming that the Democrats must have cheated because there's no way he lost. Drake is on that exact same time. He's projecting that Kendrick must be using bots. Kendrick must be cheating on playlist because Drake is most likely been doing that. That's the only way you can get in that position. If you are in this industry, you know for a fact you have to spend that money. Taylor Swift and Drake are the main two people, for sure.
Drake at the moment. as he is still trying to quietly destroy him at this point and make every single living moment of his a nightmare. I think he is going to continue this trend to symbolically represent just how he's changing the tides in hip-hop and release this album in late October, as Drake's birthday is on October 24th, which is a Thursday, so Kendrick could come with his actual version of The Heart Part 6 then and actually put out the album on Friday the 25th. And while it's impossible to predict what Kendrick is really going to do, as he is one of the most unpredictable artists of our generation, just in terms of how creative and boundless he is, all signs are pointing to the fact that this album is near, and it is going to be coming sooner rather than later, because if Kendrick does not deliver the moment that will follow up on this beef and completely recontextualize the state of hip-hop, as Lamar creates a new blueprint and sets a new standard for
You're right, Tip. In like Drake, he has created a cult fan base, and this has been exposed throughout the entire beef. Drake fans aren't even actual hip hop fans; they're Drake fans, and no more, no less. Drake can do whatever he wants. They follow Drake. They're like LeBron fans. LeBron fans are just LeBron fans. At least LeBron fans are a little bit more respectable. LeBron is actually LeBron because he's physically like that's LeBron though. Drake, his entire career and legacy is built off deception. You can't deceive being LeBron. You can easily deceive being Drake. You don't have to do much. Yeah, so it's a big difference. Exactly, it's projection. Exactly, L. Yeah, and with Party Next Door. Yeah, it's too late, but like Party Next Door, he should have been. Well, maybe that's on Party Next Door too, cause Party Next Door, he getting kind of fat. He looking like DJ Academics right now. He looking like Twin. You feel me? Like him and DJ Academics in the same multiverse. But yeah, Party Next Door, and that's the reason why I'm glad the Weeknd is signed with him. The Weeknd, that's a smart man. Ooh boy, that's a smart dude. Cause imagine like Drake, he would have had the Weeknd writing all his songs, taking all his best songs. Imagine Drake trying to sing. Well, what's that Beauty Behind the Madness? That entire album? Hell no. Just imagine Drake trying to. Yeah, the Weeknd, that man's smart.
rappers to follow on. In terms of what this beef will represent for hip-hop when we look at how the genre will grow and move past this era where Drake has seemingly exploited rap music and created so many of the worst parts about it today. Without this extended musical force from Kendrick, it could all be for nothing. So now with all that said,
At the same time, you gotta remember, Drake, he's just like the politician. He's just a puppet. There's gonna be multiple Drakes. Every single generation, they keep trying to make Drake. But there's still one Drake right now. But as soon as Drake finally falls, there will be another one. There always will be another one. Just look at jazz, how they did rock and roll. Hip hop is the one thing that we got to ourselves. That's the reason why we're holding on to it so much. Like we see the patterns, we see what happened in the past, and we can't let this go. So they kind of snuck Drake in there because he white, black, and Jewish, so he kind of wiggle through. But yeah, they got sneaky with it. They got sneaky. They getting better with it. Hey, let's go on to the next one. Let's see what else we got going on.